Yeah, Fantasy Island. It's in theaters now. It's the latest Blumhouse movie, and I was very much so excited for this movie. It's a movie that when I saw the trailer, I was like, this has potential. This could be a lot of fun. And I thought it was an original idea. And then I found out actually apparently it's a horror adaptation of a 1970s TV show about a magical island resort. And then I was like, oh, okay, that should be interesting. A 1970s adaptation show should be interesting. But then I saw who directed it. Same director that gave us Truth or Dare. And then I was like, oh no. Oh no. That was my mindset going into this movie, guys. I'll say right off the bat, the cast is fine. You know, you have Lucy Hale, Maggie Q, Portia Doubleday, Michael Pena. They all seem to be enjoying themselves, and it's cool to see that. I also really dug the score by Bear McCreary, who also did the score for Outlander, the TV show. I think his score is far out in terms of being the best thing about this movie because everything else from this movie doesn't work. It's a spoiler-free review, but I'm not going to lie, a lot of my issues falls into spoiler territory. The entire final act, I think, is terrible. There's a lot of twists and turns that really fall flat on its face. Like I always love twists that when you watch a movie, you see the twist and then you're like, oh, I gotta rewatch it, and you rewatch it and it makes so much sense. You know, those movies like The Usual Suspects, Fight Club, Sixth Sense, movies like those have twists that are so great that you literally have to rewatch it and it makes sense. But Fantasy Island is not like that. It's a movie that piles on twists that just make the movie make little to no sense at all. And it's not in a noir kind of way either. It's in a way that's just frustrating to where you're like, I don't think they actually sat down and thought these ideas through. And I don't like thinking about that personally. I like it when a movie is able to be either like brisky fun or a serious movie. And that's the thing, this movie's tonally inconsistent. It starts out just trying to be a good time, which I get it, given the fact that these characters are kind of like that too. And then it gets serious in the final act. And from a character standpoint, I guess that's okay. But in terms of storytelling, it really doesn't fit the mold of the movie because the movie is schlock, but the final act isn't treated as such. It's treated as if it's dramatic reveal after dramatic reveal, and it's not. Other thing is I'm mentioning about that is characters. Now, the characters are one dimensional. They're cookie cutter characters that are given one or two traits, and that's about it. And I get it in an ensemble cast that kind of usually happens, but in this movie it was something else entirely. Because this movie doesn't really have, I mean, I guess you could argue Lucy Hale's character is the lead, but this movie does break up a lot of the time into all these different characters. And the thing is, a lot of times I almost forgot about the characters. You know, for a while they would be off screen and then we would see them again. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you're in this movie. There's just no clear dynamic in regards to which characters I should care about because they all kind of blend together, unfortunately. The other thing I wanted to say is that, excuse me, I do have an issue with the way that they ended it. I mentioned the final act in general, but the way they ended, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But there's also, again, plot and story details, even in the second act, that I had trouble with. I just overall think it's a movie that, in different hands, maybe it could have been a fun time. But unfortunately, again, I'm keeping it short with this review. I think it's a movie that falls short. It's a movie that has a fine cast and at the same time a fine premise. I just think it was wasted in terms of the directing and writing of this movie. I think it comes down to that, and I really do wish it was better than the sum of its parts. But unfortunately, Fantasy Island, it's a movie I can't recommend. It's not as bad as Truth or Dare, I will say that, but it is still nonetheless a really poorly made movie that I think could have been good. Because again, in the first act, there are signs and glimmers of hope. You know, where it was well shot, it had a good sound mixing, and the score, of course, throughout was good. But there's just, again, glimmers of hope. And unfortunately, that hope fizzled out for me. And that's why, for me personally, Blumhouse's Fantasy Island, I'll be giving it a 1 out of 5 star rating. So, yeah, I don't recommend this, and of course, no hot sauce rating. So, guys, Fantasy Island, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not? As always, thank you very much for watching this review. Don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.